Good morning, angels.
Good morning, Charlie.
Dylan, Alex, Natalie, I hope you're rested and ready for your next assignment.
Good morning, angels. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're pitting the 2019 Charlie's Angels film against their first cinematic outing. For this showdown, though the 2003 sequel Charlie's Angels Full Throttle is fun in its own right, we're going to be sticking with the 2000 film and the 2019 version. A spoiler warning is now in effect. Round 1. Stories.
Another movie from an old TV show.
What are you gonna do?
Seeing as audiences were already familiar enough with the concept due to the popularity of the 1970s TV series, the 2000 film wasted no time introducing the titular group. The energetic Natalie, tomboyish Dylan, and the sophisticated Alex are angels, a trio of kick-ass private investigators working for the enigmatic Charlie Townsend. When genius software developer Eric Knox is supposedly kidnapped, the angels are quick to rescue him and retaliate against those responsible. However, it turns out they were playing right into Knox's hands, who wants to track down Charlie and kill him. Together, the angels must save the man they've never actually met.
Perfect. Smart, simple, and logical.
Bosley!
Evening, angels. All this looks very promising.
Taking place within the same universe, the 2019 film sees the formation of a new batch of angels, as the at-odds Sabina and Jane are forced to work with one another to recover the Callisto Project, an energy redistribution device that can be weaponized in the wrong hands. In the midst of it all is Elena, the developer of the project who's trying to prevent her boss from selling it to someone who will use it to carry out assassinations. As Elena is slowly indoctrinated into their team, they begin to suspect that the buyer is someone within the Townsend agency as well, and might just be one of the many Bosleys.
Who are you?
I'm Bosley.
While there are similar plot devices like double crosses in both stories, we have to give the edge to the 2019 version, which gives the angels more of an arc and a stronger group dynamic. Winner 2019.
How'd that feel? Because it looked like it felt really good.
That felt nice.
Round 2. Action.
You're an action star. I get a lot of action.
The action in the first Charlie's Angels film might just be the most early 2000s thing to come out of the early 2000s. Enthusiastically self-aware, this one sees the angels lean heavily into their martial arts training, with more wire work choreography and explosions than you can shake a stick at. In fact, the angels are so kick-ass, they don't need weapons whatsoever to get the job done. Hell, they can take down henchmen even when tied to a chair. The movie is completely over the top and bombastic, and that's kind of why we love it. In an era that was defined by cheesy John Woo action, thanks to films like Face Off and Mission Impossible 2, this one fits right in.
You know, they come on all lovey-dovey until they find out I can shatter a cinder block with my forehead.
As a director, Elizabeth Banks had previously only done comedy, her other feature credits being Pitch Perfect 2 and a segment in the much-maligned movie 43. However, she more than proved she can hold her own, helming a big-budget action flick.
I think women can do anything.
Just because they can doesn't mean they should.
Coming in at a time where straight-up action movies are grounded, well, relatively grounded, that is, the 2019 flick sees the angels trade in their martial arts prowess with your typical brand of firearms. Not only that, but they also find themselves adept in your signature car chase.
You're not a waitress?
No, I'm Jane.
Oh.
And while not all of them are trained operatives, the rookie Elena can be scrappy and resourceful in a fight when she needs to be. While the action of the 2019 one is smooth and well executed, we simply cannot pass up the gleeful nature of the original iteration. Winner 2000.
To Charlie.
To Charlie.
To Charlie.
Charlie.
Round 3. Villains. While we would have loved to see Tim Curry ham it up as the villain in the 2000 movie, he turns out to be a mere red herring. After tricking the angels into helping him and even sleeping with Dylan, Eric Knox reveals himself to be the real mastermind.
Let me get this straight. You're a woman. Women have natural intuition, and you're a detective?
Believing Charlie to be responsible for his father's death, Eric aims to use his voice recognition software to track down the elusive Charlie's location and exact his revenge. With him are the snappy Vivian Wood and perhaps even more memorable Crispin Glover as the silent and creepy Thin Man, who's made out to be a more sympathetic antagonist in the sequel, but an antagonist all the same. Villainy in the 2019 movie hit a little closer to home, as the Angels begin to suspect that the buyer of the Callisto project is none other than Elizabeth Banks Bosley.
Maybe she was being watched, but what if we are? And by who?
Turns out Bosley was the villain, just not that one. No, the real mastermind is the recently retired John Bosley, who feels indignant over being passed up to take over for the late Charlie Townsend, and has been secretly assembling a criminal network for years. Between Jean-Luc Picard and Professor X, it's not often that we get to see Sir Patrick Stewart play bad, and boy does he shine in the role.
Outstanding. But what about Australian Johnny?
Listen, we love Sam Rockwell as much as the next guy, but the revamped Charlie's Angels ups the ante in the villain department. And for that, we can't not give it the point. It's now match point in favor of the 2019 film. Winner 2019.
Feisty.
Round 4, comedy.
What do you call this?
Chinese fighting muffin.
Nothing to laugh about.
You just don't hire the likes of Cameron Diaz, Drew Barrymore, and Bill Murray if you're not going for a comedic vibe. With the Angels already being pre-established as a team, they feel right at home with one another from the get-go, and are quick to trade witty banter and play around. There's nary a scene where the movie doesn't want to make you laugh, and that especially goes for the action sequences. Remember when the Angels disguised themselves as sexy yodelers and Bosleys on the tuba? Or what about when Bosley almost lights himself on fire? Funny stuff.
May I have some ice water, please?
So I can just take whatever I want? Borrow.
Is that an actual rule?
Seeing as the 2019 film is more down to earth, which again isn't a high bar to clear, it's also less apt to make you chortle uncontrollably. What it does have going for it though, is the more dynamic interplay between each of the Angels. Here we get to witness them become a team and eventual friends, with their differing backgrounds, skill sets, and personalities complementing each other well in the comedic department. While there's no one set piece that's constructed solely to induce laughs, Banks and company do well to make sure that each scene is injected with a certain lightness and wittiness.
Oh, Vince.
Let's just stop the touching. Some of these blows up.
While the 2019 Charlie's Angels will be sure to keep you smirking throughout, you just can't top the humor in the original installment. Both are funny, but it's like a lightweight boxer going up against a heavyweight one.
Your methodologies are antiquated and weak.
So going into the final round, we're tied 2-2. Winner 2000. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Round 5, casts. When Charlie's Angels came out in 2000, it knew how to get butts in seats with a truly dynamite cast. Cameron Diaz was one of the hottest stars in Hollywood following her titular part in There's Something About Mary, and Drew Barrymore had been known as America's sweetheart since her days as a child star. And to round out the Angels, 2000 would prove to be a breakout hit for Lucy Liu between this and Shanghai Noon. Also operating at full capacity are Bill Murray, Sam Rockwell, Crispin Glover, and Tim Curry in supporting roles. But wait, there's more. Charlie's Angels cameo game is seriously on point, assembling the likes of Tom Green, Luke Wilson, LL Cool J, and a then unknown Melissa McCarthy.
You must be Nazarens. I'm Doris.
2019's Charlie's Angels is no slouch either when it comes to putting talent on screen.
Who steals humanitarian aid money?
You are in the presence of angels.
Kristen Stewart is able to let loose, something mainstream audiences haven't really seen, and Naomi Scott cements 2019 as her breakout year following her turn in Aladdin. Then there's Ella Balinska, who audiences won't know but probably will soon. Hunger Games star Sam Claflin and Noah Centineo have supporting roles, and if one Bosley wasn't enough, try 3 with Elizabeth Banks, Patrick Stewart, and Jimon Hunsu. Oh, and a cameo Bosley from Michael Strahan. And speaking of cameos, The 2019 film boasts a bunch at the end, featuring Haley Steinfeld, Lily Reinhart, Chloe Kim, Ronda Rousey, Danica Patrick, Laverne Cox, and OG Angel Jacqueline Smith from the TV series.
I loved Charlie's Angels growing up, and I first need you to explain how you had that flat stomach in that bathing suit. Like, did you ever eat?
That's the vein of my existence.
Sufficient to say, both films have the name recognition, but we've got to go with the original film if we're putting the core Angel trio in higher regard.
Thank you, Charlie.
Also, while the 2019 one has multiple Bosleys, we're not convinced they all equal one Bill Murray. So by the skin of its teeth, 2000's Charlie's Angels comes from behind to take the victory. Winner, 2000.
Charlie, I've really enjoyed working on this assignment, and I eagerly anticipate returning to work.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.